I'm visiting Australia's biggest ROG fan. Shelves of rare GPUs and exclusive hardware that you cannot buy anymore. To celebrate 20 years of ROG has sponsored us on a mission, driving over 900 kilometers to surprise him with not one, but 2 rare GPUs. And there will also be a custom system for his collection. He has no idea it's coming. All right, we're here. Sean, first of all, thanks for inviting us to your home. I know it's been a few months planning, and I know that you've been going through some rough times in here. Tell us a little bit about what happened in this space.
On the 1st of November, we had 2 significant storms come through, one with lots and lots of hail. That caused localized flooding, and then we had another one on about 3 hours later that actually caused water ingress into the space. Luckily I hadn't actually populated everything with computers yet, but it wet probably about half of the carpet tiles and that, and a few boxes I had in here of hardware and whatnot, so I had to pull it all out and redo it, dry it all out, redo the carpet tiles and get everything back in and basically start from scratch again.
Okay, and before we show everyone the room, is this 100% complete, or you still got a little bit more to do?
No, not quite. I've got a couple more signs and some light boxes and everything, but it's probably about 85% done. So what I've got here is the original crosshair board. So this is where ROG started back in 2006. And then we've got the original 9800 GT Matrix. So that was the first Matrix card that ROG created.
So these are the very first?
That's the first, that's where it all started.
So you have?
Yep.
This is where your whole collection.
That's where ROG started. Yeah, so on the motherboard side and the GPU side. And then we start going down into the more rarer stuff. Sorry, the Mars, which is the GTX 295s. This is where they started doing 2 PCBs sandwiched together. Wasn't a very efficient design. Then they started moving to a single PCB with 2 GPU cores, and that's where the Mars 2 came from.
Nice.
So
I noticed there was only 1,000 of these.
There's only 1,000 of each of them. And that trend continued with the Aries. So they've got the Aries in here, and then we've got the Aries 3. The Aries 3, there's only 500 of them in the world. So that's 298 cores, and this is basically a 5970 on steroids. That's what the original Aries was. And then right down the bottom, we have a Rampage 5 Edition 10. So that was ROG's 10th anniversary board, and that's got an EK water block on it too. I threw that in there because it's something that a lot of people haven't seen, and that's a GTX 760 Striker. And that was kind of when ROG was doing really cool cooler designs. They were really out there and edgy, and so I really liked that card because it was so different.
Yeah, you could tell it has a unique design compared to all the other cards.
Yeah, so that was sort of what I wanted to get in there, sort of encapsulate where it began and some rarity of the ROG collections.
In your mind, what is the rarest piece of hardware in here?
That's a hard one because any of the Aries or Mars cards are hard to find.
Yeah.
Obviously the Aries 3 is the hardest because there's 500 of them in the world. They were really hard to find. All of them come from overseas. The only one that's not in there I do have is the Aries 2. The original Mars though was definitely the hardest to find. But probably not the rarest card I have.
Okay.
But we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. What's your plan with this space here?
I just wanted to create a space that not only could game in, that we could watch movies in and whatnot. So I'm just gonna chuck a couple of beanbags in here, and it's all been wired for 5-in-1 surround sound. All the speakers are recessed into the wall.
I did notice that. You did a really good job with that. Yeah.
When it's all said and done, I'll be able to relax in here with
beautiful
on the beanbag. So this is my driving sim rig. It's nothing too fancy at this point. It's just running a Logitech G27. It's just hooked up to a sim rig. Eventually I will upgrade it to something a little bit more, you know, like a Fanatic or something, steering wheel and gear selector and whatnot. For the time being, it's it's quite fun.
And so what's your favorite type of games? Do you love sim racing games? Or?
It's a good break from, like, I love FPS games. Like I love, you know, Battlefield and all that, but it's a nice break, you know, to be hands-on and all that kind of thing. Originally there was going to be a flight simulator in here as well. Yeah. You know, it's good fun just to rip around in a car and do some driving. So
just had a thought come to mind. I think we need to get one of these for Amelia to do a bit of, you know, driving 100%. And learning and stuff.
I will have a sim set up for sale if you really want to buy it.
What's going on over here?
This rig here is my daughter's rig. She wanted a gaming PC, and I've just got all the ROG Electropunk peripherals and everything for it. And then in the corner, that's my main rig. So that's where I'll be sitting there doing my FPS gaming.
Yeah, nice.
That's all sitting on a custom desk that I made.
It looks a bit thicker than normal desks, so is that like a bench top or something?
That's a bench top. We cut them down to size, and I bought some legs to basically customize it to the size that I wanted, and it worked out perfect.
I know you were telling me that you were tossing in your head whether to have the PCs on the desk or on the ground. So is that the permanent place for them now, you reckon?
I didn't want to chew up the desk space. I'm, you know, a lot of guys love having their PCs on the desk so they can see them, which I totally understand.
So I walked in here, I first noticed this whole wall of boxes. Now, can you tell me exactly what you have on here? Because it's very overwhelming to me. I've never seen this much gear in my life.
No, it is. Like, this is the motherboard and graphics card collection and peripherals and everything else I've sort of collected. But this is only everything that has original boxes.
Yeah. Okay.
This isn't all of my hardware, and that's the scary, that's the scary part.
There's another secret stash somewhere.
There's generic motherboard boxes filled with motherboards. So everything started with the motherboard collection. That's where the ROG collection started from.
Yeah, okay.
And then it leaned into graphics cards. So I sort of did it in 2 stages. It's basically a comprehensive collection right up until about 2016, 2017-ish.
Okay.
And then there's the odd newer board over here. But it just got to a point where, you know, you gotta watch your dollars a little bit. And
when did you start collecting all of this?
it was July 2014 is when it actually collection started.
So you've got a month as well.
Yep. I started a thread on the OCAU forums.
Oh yeah.
My first motherboard was a Rampage 3 Formula, and I used that for years. That motherboard was fantastic, and I learnt how to overclock on it, and I gave it a fair bit of hell. So it lasted very, very well.
Yep.
I actually wanted just to collect the extreme motherboards. That's how it started.
Right.
Then people started offering me everything, like how early do you want to go, you know? And I think the earliest one was a Commando. So there's a Commando in box there.
Yep.
And then I was like, yeah, sure.
Okay.
And then I just populated a list, and the rest is history.
So a lot of it you had to source secondhand and really dive deep to find some of this stuff.
Yep, 100%. Right. There's very few boards I've bought brand new. The only boards I've bought brand new are for my own personal rig. All the original motherboards are in box.
Yeah.
And that was really awesome because they're the hardest ones to find. I mean, the Crosshair is 20 years old. You sort of fall into that realm of collector mindset of like, does it have a box? Does it have all the accessories?
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't, I don't want it.
Yeah.
And a lot of these...
that adds value as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. So sadly, it does. And sadly, a lot of my graphics cards, the Matrix ones and some of the other ones don't have original boxes.
Would you say that overall, compared to what you spent, everything's gone up in value?
Yeah, 100%. I really don't know how much it's all worth. The graphics card side definitely have skyrocketed in pricing. The motherboards are kind of weird. Sometimes they go up in price and sometimes they don't.
Fluctuates.
It's kind of strange unless you've got something unique.
What made you choose ROG over all the other brands out there?
It's a pretty shallow answer actually, and it was pure aesthetics. I stumbled across ROG in a computer shop and a pre-built, and I was like, that looks really cool. Like, ROG sort of do products that grab your attention. They always have done, even from the early days. I mean, even the early Crosshair boards and everything, they always grab your eye. When I realized how much abuse I could throw it, and it was still okay, I'm like, they must be pretty good boards, you know? And then I just, you know, this is back in the day where you just read reviews and forums and, you know, and I just read and learned about it, and so, well, these boards are pretty awesome. Not all their products have been perfect over the years. I mean, no brand is. But for me, especially the early stuff, it was just unmatched by any other vendor.
Tell me a little bit about these.
So the Matrix cards were the top of the range GPUs from the early years, as the 9800 GT. And this is sort of where they would like to showcase the design and overclocking and cooling capabilities, and they were just the top tier of, you know, each generation. They didn't release a Matrix card for every generation. It was kind of strange. And there is an imposter in this lineup. It's not a Matrix card, but...
Is that for me to find?
Yeah, you can go find it.
I don't know a lot about the Matrix cards, so I'm trying it.
So there was
what I did notice is this one right here is kind of like a hybrid.
So that's a Poseidon. That's the imposter. So so I did that for a couple of reasons. One, to fill the space, but two, there was a bit of a story behind it, and it was kind of meant to be the Matrix, and it wasn't.
Okay. And
then they just landed with a Poseidon card. So that's a 1080 Ti, but everything else, you know, it's a 9800 GT to a 4870 to a 5870. Sorry, that's a GTX 285, 5870, and then we've got GTX 580, 7970, 280X, 290X, 780 Ti, 980, 980 Ti, and then these are the gold editions. So this is for ASUS's 20th anniversary of making GPUs.
Wow, 10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago. And they're just a 980 and a 980 Ti. So Matrix design and everything about it is a Matrix card. They binned them a little bit better, but they were released under the ASUS banner instead of the ROG banner.
Okay.
And then we have the 1080 Ti Poseidon and the 2080 Ti Matrix. So there's a couple missing off that shelf that hopefully I'll get one day.
That's incredible.
Fill the collection, but that was probably the hardest collection to obtain.
Which one would you consider out of all of these to be the rarest?
That was really hard to find.
Yeah.
Is it the rarest? I don't think so. The 2080 Ti Matrix is pretty rare. Yep. There weren't too many of them released, but I sort of see a few of the other, the gold editions, you don't see too many of them. That one would probably, in my eyes, be the rarest. That I've only ever seen a couple of people with them. The most common that I've found is the 780 Ti Matrix. I've got four of them, but
I've got four.
Well, that was for I was going to do benchmarking, I wanted to do 4 layers alive with them. So,
which one would you say is your favorite?
I do love the 980 Ti. They completely changed the color design. And I'd really like that. But just this cooler design in general is my favorite. But yeah, no, I love the Matrix cards. I'm happy that they're still surviving because everything else is dead. You don't get Mars cards anymore. You don't get Ares cards anymore. The Poseidon's pretty much dead. That was the last one they produced. So the Matrix is the only thing that's, and I think that's, I was a bit sad about that because the graphics card side of it was so interesting and edgy, and I loved it.
Now, with this whole setup of Matrix cards here, is there anything that you're missing, anything that you're hoping to add to the collection one day?
So obviously the 4090 Matrix and the 5090 Matrix are the only two I don't have. To acquire one of them or both of them would be pretty awesome to set the collection off.
Interesting. I've actually been talking to ASUS. We actually have a little surprise for you to help complete your Matrix collection.
Okay.
So
sounds exciting.
Give me 1 second. ROG has heard about your collection. They understand that you were missing the Matrix GeForce RTX 4090. And they actually wanted to provide you with one.
That's so sick.
Yeah. And this is all to celebrate their 20th anniversary, ROG's 20th anniversary. So they really wanted to do that. So massive thank you to ROG.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks to ASUS and ROG for this. It's definitely going to a good home. Yeah, I'm pretty speechless with that.
Hey, and you were saying that you just put this on the wall to fill space. Yeah, now you can actually...
There's an imposter up there, so we can take that one out and populate with this. So, no, that's awesome. No, thank you.
I've actually got one more surprise for you.
Have you?
Yep. One more surprise. Just wait here.
Okay. Oh, stop it. That's crazy. No wonder you didn't catch a plane, dude.
So, yeah, the option was to catch a plane.
Yeah.
And try and fit this on somehow with all the camera lighting gear, or to drive this all up and keep it safe.
You're out of breath.
It's heavy. We were in a secret email thread, actually.
I'm not surprised.
Putting something together for you.
Okay.
And I'm absolutely dying. So let's get it unboxed and we'll take a little look at it.
Right, so it's not
and what it may be.
It's not just a case?
Maybe not. It's a heavy case, if it is. It's like you were building your computer and I was like, oh, don't worry about it. We'll just get some of it on camera. Because I was actually thinking, just add this to your setup.
You were super chill about it and I was like, he's really chill about me building a computer. No way.
Yep.
Are you serious, dude?
It's the ROG 5090 Matrix.
Oh my god.
Custom build.
Did you build it?
I built it, yeah.
That's so sick. That's crazy.
It's all yours.
Is it? Is it really?
It's all yours, yeah. So you got the 5090 and the 4090 ROG Matrix.
That's nuts, dude.
It was all in plan. by ROG this whole time.
Those guys are so good. I really appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh, dude.
Together.
That must have been
Unpacked
a
it all.
nervous drive up here.
Yeah, and then when you came up to the car this morning, I was like, oh, how do I kind of hide this? I was going to say, oh, it's just my editing PC. I was doing editing in the room.
Did you do all this custom bit here?
Yeah.
That's so sick.
Well, that was the other thing. I had to make it travel friendly. So there's a few like custom panels and stuff, and you'll see that says ROG X Sean.
Oh, it's got my name on it.
Yeah.
What the hell?
20 years of ROG. Yeah.
Well, I definitely can't thank ROG enough for that. Wow. I don't know what to say. And now I probably should have it up on the desk.
Maybe, yeah, that's... Without ROG, this wouldn't be possible. This is all to celebrate their 20th anniversary.
100%.
They just wanted to do something special for, they call it Australia's biggest ROG mega fan. So, yeah. Big thanks to ASUS, and they also sent us out here to be able to do this video. Big thank you to ROG.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And
so much.
Mate, enjoy.
I will. I'll have some time to play games now.
I've still got a 9-hour drive back home.
Yeah.
It ain't over yet.